The working title right now is Dragonfly Collective. I don't know if I'll even land on that yet, but it's feeling really good. And I was telling you before, the idea of dragonfly on a tarot card, right? And if there's lots of translations, but if you read the one that I read or had read to me actually was the masks that you have worn to date have served you.
Yeah.
They're not something that you should be ashamed of. They've served you, whatever that means.
Brought you a purpose in one way or another and brought you to where you are.
Yeah. And I just think for both of us, we have a very similar background, even though our sports were different and stuff. But the mask that I wore was that I'm a hockey player. That's my identity. And I'll never be anything else. Right.
Yeah.
And then shift into entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur. I am a this, I am a that. Totally. Right. But when you can surround yourself with people that all just come from the same centered grounding of just knowing that there's a higher self that's available to us here inside, that doesn't have to be impacted by the outer world, but is impacted by the outer world, who you spend your time with is going to have a massive impact on your elevation.
When you talk about masks, are willing to arrive maskless, are willing to arrive with no ego and open and vulnerable to have the meaningful discussions, the true self discussions, right? And so I think that I love that. That's exciting. Looking forward to seeing what you guys do.
It's pretty cool. Well, it's a part of, the future visioning that like you were already articulating. For me, it's a very similar thing. I don't know if it's Costa Rica, but it's likely Costa Rica. It's a beach. It's a place where there's a big property. There's other buildings on that property that people can come and stay with us. There's a view of the ocean. There is workshops, retreats.
Cool.
There are healers that do breath work. There are yoga. Like my mom teaches yoga. Like I already see it. I'm not, it's not in my physical reality.
That's the start.
Yeah. And I see you and Julie and your guys' family as a piece of that. So so that's why I was looking forward to doing this, man.
Well, I just heard certain roles in there and I was like, all right, cool. So I got a job at least a little bit of the year.
And I see us, like there's no doubt, like I will be the support system for you to make all of that stuff come true at whatever pace that you want it to be too, because it's all possible, man. And I
appreciate that, because it is, as you say, and you've been through it, it's an overwhelming journey. It's, I've been thinking on it for the past few weeks, but I can say I haven't done, well, that's not true, but I haven't done an appropriate amount of planning, pen to paper type stuff. So to make it happen, I got to do it. I got to start really, really grinding on it.
Flip the record button on. That's always my first piece of advice for everybody. It is just like you would have seen. I think you saw my first one that I did. It was in the room on the other side of the house over there with the gas fitter in here trying to hook up our stove and a bunch of noise and chaos going on all around me. But I just, looking back on that, when I watched it back a few times, and I was like, that was my honest truth. Because
totally at that
I
time,
didn't have a clue what I was even doing, man. I was just like, I'm just going to start.
But you started. You took the first step, right?
And my most loyal listeners were my family.
Which is awesome.
And then come full circle on all of this. I don't know if they're still listening or not, because I'm speaking my truth and I may be ruffling feathers a little bit, but
it's your truth.
But it's my truth. Exactly. And there's a lot to be said too for comfortability with the silence too. And that's again where I'm sitting, right? Is like, I know when I'm sitting and reflecting, it's usually when something's really downloading to me the most, right?
Totally.
When you're not trying to be busy and over.
No, and that's it. It's not trying to block thoughts out. You just give yourself that space. You give yourself that space, and clarity arrives. Ideas arrive. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed that clip and you want to watch the full unedited episode, go ahead and click over here. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me. Thanks so much.